Hey guys, Romie here. So yes, Underground Season 2 Episode 1 Contraband. This is my review. Again, I go by Romie. And please like, comment, subscribe. Now, the episode starts off right. Because I was saying to myself, Freedom's one of my favorite songs off of Beyonce's Lemonade album. I said, you know what? This song would be perfect in Underground. I was upset as far as timing and clearance and all that I didn't work out for Season 1. But I said, okay. For Season 2, we need to have Freedom playing. And lo and behold, John Legend said, you know what, let me go over to the Carters. Let me go, bring my daughter over there so that she can play with Blue and get Blue acclimated with, dealing with younger sibling. And let me talk to, Beyonce, let me talk to you for a moment. So, yeah, Freedom, in this whole opening scene of the, this first episode, Freedom, or snippets of Freedom, is playing in the background. We see someone, we don't know who she is at the time, and we see this slave learning how to, this slave, Jesus. We see this person, not a slave, we see this person, they partially know how to read, but they're really learning how to read. And then the music kicks in, because, who do we see? We see Rosalie! Rosalie is a freedom fighter. She is a freedom fighter, and she's trying to help this slave get to freedom. He goes, trips. So next thing we know, we see Harriet Tubman. Yes, the boss, Harriet Tubman. She comes out of nowhere, and essentially, she brokers a deal. She brokers a deal, and she has a gun. They think that, oh, wait a minute, we have 3 slaves. We have 3 slaves. She said, no, you have 2 options. He's a slave. I'll give you $5 for him, because that's how much his reward is, and $5 for your trouble. So that's $10. And then she said, so this would go 2 ways. Do you want $10 or 2 bullets? Because, lo and behold, Rosalie pulls out that gun. It's like, ha! You thought you knew, but you didn't. You thought you were ready, but you weren't. So they go and they take the money. And of course, Harriet and Rosalie, they're able to rescue this man. Now, John, you remember John and Elizabeth, they're part of technically the freedom fighters now. He's going and he's trying to petition for Noah's release. He's doing everything he possibly can. And the judge initially hears him out. The judge, hears him out and says, you know what? Yeah, the way that he was taken, and because remember, Noah, when he killed someone there in Ohio, he essentially, it didn't matter who he killed. He killed someone white in Ohio. He got caught. As an end result, he is now faced on trial, currently in jail. And clearly, his mind is sharp. He's just looking. He's waiting for the opportunity. It looks like, originally I thought he was trying to get a weapon together, but that wasn't the case. It was something else. But he's ready. It could be used as many different things. He notices that, these guys, well, first of all, he's paying attention to everything that's going on there. But he also notices that these men, they're acting a little funny. So he's going to hold off for now because he doesn't know the full details. Rosalie's back home with John. Now remember, John was her father's brother. I believe that's how it is, yeah. So Rosalie is technically his niece. So that's why he holds a special place in his heart for her. The issue is that Rosalie realizes the slave that broke his leg, his ankle, he's going to slow them down. She's okay with that, but Harriet isn't. And, Tom's letting her know. Is his name Tom or John? I really want to say his name is John. Well, letting her know that maybe we can actually get Noah out. We can get Noah out, release him. She's super excited about that. She goes down to Harriet, and she essentially tells Harriet, we need to stay here. We need to go and get Noah out. We know what route will be taken if they go and release him. So if that occurs, we can be ready. Harriet's like, no. Nope. No. We're not going to risk, killing ourselves and risking these other people's freedoms for this person. And of course, Rosalie said, no, here's how this goes. I'm going to help him. You can either come with me or not. Figure it out yourself. I understand that you got hurt by some dude, but me over here, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm gravy. Lord. How did Miss Bougetta herself go and sing so low? I can't believe it. Ernestine. Ernestine is a field slave now. She's not no house slave. There's nothing proud about what she does. She sings with the rest of them. She's as miserable as the rest of them. Actually worse. Because, you know, she always thought she was a little bit better than them. So now that she's there with them, Lord, she is drugging it up. Clearly, I don't know where she... At the time, I didn't know where she was getting the drugs from. But she's getting the drugs from somewhere. And she's just sniffing it so that... And she even has it with her while she's working so that she can just deal with what's going on. Actually, she's not dealing with what's going on. That's part of the problem. Noah, you know, they're going in inspecting him. So they have their hands all in his mouth. They're going touching up on him, checking his eyes. And he's strong. He's good. He's ready. Noah's looking at John like, okay, so what's going on here? What's good? And, you know, John's trying to tell him, okay, so if you get released, this is where you're going to go. And there's going to be 2 other people with you. This is a territory that you're marking. This is who may be on there. And Noah realizes that he's potentially being rescued. So he's ready. He's mentally sharp now. He's ready to go. Rosalie, you know, they need to get some equipment, get some weapons. So she's working in this hospital. And it's a mess. It's a mess. They're so busy and distracted that it didn't even seem like they were looking down on her. Of course they partially were, but it almost seemed more like, okay, look, as long as you can work, we really don't care. We just need the help. She sees an opening because the nurse goes into the medicine cabinet. She sees where the medicine cabinet is. She purposely bumps into the nurse to get the key into the medicine cabinet, and she starts stealing some stuff from there. Because, remember, now she's thinking of, okay, we need to go and rescue Noah, and we need to make sure that we have stuff to help. Elizabeth, she meets up with Sally. Sally is a freedom. Well, Sally is a part of this, I almost said book club. It's like a book sewing club, but no, it's really an abolitionist club, like a women's abolitionist club. And originally she had things like these apples and cookies and whatnot. She was a little scared because I'm looking at her like, Lord, did you go to the wrong place? Did you go to the wrong place? Jesus, Elizabeth, did you go to the wrong place? And she's thinking that it's actually a sewing and knitting club. I said, Lord Jesus, all the women are taking out their guns. One woman made some jam. Another one's like, yeah, well, it's award-winning. And, you know, they're just going over the fact that as women, all the things, the injustices that are going on. Someone was recently killed, and multiple people were recently killed. Of course, unjustified, and they need to do something about it. Noah, while he's in jail, he realizes that the men that are going to be with him when he's released, they are planning to get out. They're planning to try and hit one of the guards so that they can make a beeline for it. Noah realizes that. He takes the cast iron out of their hand and throws it in with the food. Mind you, that food looked like it was meant for pigs. It looked like slop. It actually looked like slop. I said, so you really... Okay. It looked like slop. Anyway, Noah goes and he does that. And they go and they yoke him up like, excuse me, what are you doing? He says, excuse me, I'm about to be freed. Actually, no, yeah. I'm about to be freed, and you guys are going to mess that up for me? Here's how this goes. You shut up, you keep your nose down and clean, and maybe, just maybe, we'll all be able to get out of here by tomorrow. You got it? Okay. What? Lady E, because I feel like that's why I want to call her from now on. Lady E, she's, again, as miserable as ever, as irritated as ever. It looks like her so-called dude, he's, you know, being abused and mistreated by one of the masters. Oh, I hate using that word. Anyway, we get past that to Elizabeth. Again, Elizabeth, the thing about her is all the ladies are shooting guns, and they're talking about how, you know what, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's essentially what they're trying to tell her. Look, you need to take matters into your own hands. People are doing things, and it's not right. Action needs to happened. Because originally they were talking about how the turning tide in slavery overseas in the UK and, well, in Great Britain, and what happened was an article was published about how horrendous the treatment of the people on these slave ships and, you know, as slaves, and it opened up a lot of people's eyes. Elizabeth said, look, we're here in America, and a lot of people don't know how to read. Plus, some of them will just ignore it anyway because their life's a lot easier the way that it is with having slaves or keeping a status quo. And she said, and Sally said, yes, that's true, but this is why we need to take action. This is exactly why we need to take action. John's trying to do his very best to make sure that Noah gets freed. And remember, he told Rosalie that it may happen. And it turns out the judge realized what John was doing. He caught the okie doke and said, no, no, this is how this actually goes. You're not going to go and play me. I am the one who can do whatever I want. I am the one who makes the real rules. You are the one that have to follow them because you are not in charge. You are not in command. You are not command. No, I'm sorry. I was having a scandal moment. So long story short, Noah, he doesn't get freed. He's actually going to be hanged instead. Rosalie is pissed, so at the house she's going off on John like, excuse me, you said that you were going to make things worse. It's like, well, the system was supposed to help. I'm saying the system is broken, the system is rigged. We already knew that. Why are you acting like that's not the case? Come on, man. Come on, man. So John said, no, we're going to take action. We're going to figure this out. We're going to go and free him. We're going to go and cause a diversion, and that's how we're going to get Noah. And I said, okay, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. Noah, you see him factioning something. It almost looks like a ring of sorts. There was a marriage on the plantation, so slaves got married. As we see, this is where Lady E, or okay, Ernestine is starting to see visions. She's starting to see visions of, remember the woman that she killed because it was either kill her or have her, have her go and snitch about everything that Ernestine has been doing? Yeah. So Ernestine sees her, and again, it's a guilt trip. It's kind of this whole mantra of, at the end of the day, regardless of what you say or what you do, I'm always going to haunt you. But, you know, it's bigger than that. So Ernestine and her so-called guy, it's just like, hey, is everything cool? Yeah, everything's cool. So then they go and they have sex. They go and they have sex in the woods. And so far I'm thinking, okay, at least Ernestine has someone there to kind of love and support her, I guess. Back at home, we have Elizabeth, because I know what happens next. That's what's just throwing me off. Elizabeth decides she wants to go and give her husband the biggest pep talk. Because originally, remember, Elizabeth wasn't really for all of this, at least not on the level that he was, but she's saying, look, at the end of the day, we have to do something. If we don't do something, then nothing will change. We have to be the change that we want to see. And John said, you know what, I'm going to go and run for office. If I run for office, if I become a judge, if I get a seat at the table, then I can change things internally. I'm thinking, yeah, but you're going to need help. But you know what? Shout out to you for trying to do something. Respect. Respect. Now, it's the day of Noah's alleged hanging. Back at Ernestine's, her dude gets yoked up because the one of the slave masters, he went and told them, look, here's how this really goes. How this really goes is you sell the product to the people and you sink drugs. These drugs essentially are supposed to, you know, make sure that they're nice and docile, but coherent enough to do their work. And so that's where Ernestine's getting the drugs from. I'm thinking, oh God, no, gee, no. So you're using one slave to go and make sure that the others stay enslaved. Oh God. Ernestine, of course you would choose someone who does something like that. Of course you would. Now, the other thing I didn't expect was, because remember, he got kicked around and yoked up by the master, so as a result, he goes and hits Ernestine, because Ernestine said, excuse me, what did I do? What did I do? You talked. And he hit her, thinking, oh God. So now she went from essentially running a house and having her kids in the house and running things to now she's a field slave in their abusive relationship and hooked on drugs. Oh, Lord. How the mighty have fallen. Noah, he has the rope around his neck, and he almost gives up hope. But then he sees Rosalie. He sees his baby. She's like, I got you. She's like, okay. She goes, she calls the diversion, gets this alcohol, sets the place on fire, blows it up, and they go and get the carriage to bum rush the place. They cut everyone down, everyone gets in the carriage, runs away, but they're being tailed. The ladies, as I said, the women abolitionists, they go and they set up this brigade. They're bosses. They set up a brigade to make sure that no one else could really pass. But what they thought originally were marshals were following them. No, they're not marshals. They're on a whole nother level. And unfortunately, they're really good. They were able to go and to get back Noah, and they even kind of beat up John. John's still alive because John did what he had to do, but he's still kind of beat up. Thinking, oh gosh. Now Ernestine is being haunted by, dang, what was her name? Remember the woman from True Blood? You know, Tara's mama from True Blood? Yeah, her. And on this show, if you watched the show last season, again, she was the woman that was going to go and rat out Ernestine, and that's why Ernestine killed her. Look, she's giving her this guilt trip of life because she's trying to tell Ernestine, what happened to you? You used to be so pretty. You used to be so confident and arrogant. Now you're in an abusive relationship. Now you're hooked on drugs. You don't have any of your kids. You'll probably never see them again. And she's still getting knocked around by her so-called boyfriend. And as I said, Noah, he was kidnapped because Elizabeth found her husband, but Noah's kidnapped. And of course, Rosalie's over it. She's like, Lord Jesus, I can only deal with so much. We see Ernestine going and getting high, and she has the bruises on her face. I'm like, so she gets high, she works all day, and then gets beat up at night by her boy. But you know what? I have to be honest. I did not see what happened at the end of the episode. I did not expect that. John's coming out of the courthouse with Elizabeth, thinking everything's all great and dandy, and then he gets shot. He gets shot. Shot. Boom. Right in the head. Dead. That's it. No one's there. It was set up. And now I'm trying to think, okay, do they really know what he's doing, or do they not like the fact that he is almost coming off as pro-black or pro-equal rights for all? We'll see. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back.